Ladies and gentlemen, Assalamu alaikum. The hosts, and of course, I assume that the President of Pakistan is also online. So, with this permission, with the permission of the host, honorable colleagues and guests, it's a pleasure to be here. I had thought initially that I would be perhaps reading through a speech, but a lot has been said already. And the last thing that I think audiences want is repetition of what has already been said. So I will try to summarize some of my thoughts, perhaps moving away from the written word. We're clearly here to celebrate and recognize the freelancer community, which is becoming an increasingly important component and contributor to our economy. And this is, as you know, it's all about young people who are entering this space. And our youth is expanding rapidly. We are told that over 60% of our population is under 25. And for this growing bulge of our population, the opportunities that used to exist a few decades ago in terms of usual professional jobs are not necessarily as easy to get. So while the opportunities to work in jobs has been declining over decades, the youth has also been given the opportunity through the advent of technology and a growing ecosystem to use their skills in different ways. Our youth now, this freelancer community, is not driven by the same ambitions of a generation ago. They have bigger dreams. They are looking forward to contribute individually and in ways that use their own talents and skills that they've developed, but also use technology. And as you know, they have ventured, as all of you have ventured into IT services, which include, of course, software, web and app development, digital marketing, content writing, consulting, but of course, outside of technology, also some local handicrafts and apparel. We've also just heard from Qazi Saab how this, in terms of numbers, how this contribution has been growing. I understand he said $350 million. Pioneer has done research which puts it about at that level. But I would imagine that is an understated level, because there is unrecognized, undocumented part that we would still be trying to estimate. But even so, this is the fourth fastest growing freelancing country, which in terms of growth at least puts us ahead even of India and Bangladesh, and has been growing at 47% annually. And we now anticipate, at least the targets are there, that this freelancing community will contribute $3 billion towards exports by the year 2024. So clearly, there is a huge potential that is offered by the freelancing community to Pakistan. And at a time like this, we know the difficulties that we are going through in the economy. We are looking for, as an economy, new and diverse sources of revenue, particularly of dollar revenues. And so this is our hope as a country, that this community develops much faster and actually begins to support the economy in ways that other sectors have failed, perhaps. So there are also huge challenges that are faced by the freelancing community, and some of them were touched upon. They have to do with infrastructure, they have to do with skill development, they have to do with access to markets, and all the range of challenges goes on. But we as the banking community, and I can specifically also perhaps talk about what at Bank Alfalah we felt a clear responsibility that the hurdles that the freelancing community faces in the financial and banking sector, we have a responsibility to try to solve them. And it is that responsibility that has driven us to first try to understand what the key issues are, key problems are. Again, they were referred to earlier by Qazi Sahab. But clearly, this community has been long ignored by banks, and the right products have not been available. So I think recently all banks have been coming forth, and so have been, to come up with easy access to accounts. So for instance, we have a freelancer digital account that gives immediate access to accounts, of course, and all the transactional capabilities that come with digital accounts as well. Another key issue that we thought or we surfaced through our survey was that the transfer of funds that freelancers have goes through intermediary platforms right now, or have in the past, and these intermediary platforms have been expensive. The service fees are quite high. So we have, at least Bank Alfalah has introduced Alfalah Payment Gateway, which allows freelancers now to directly receive payments from their clients, and thereby eliminating the fee that is paid to intermediary platforms. Another issue that was surfaced was that the payments were coming in through delays. So these delays were obviously causing funding problems for the freelancing community, and so we have introduced the Pay by Link feature, which can be used to collect instant payments from anywhere in the world. So, I mean, these are just examples. There are other examples of transactional ease and convenience that we have been introducing, but also at lower cost. The next need, of course, is this is a business, and businesses sometimes need financing. And I think a lot has been done over the last couple of years for the entire banking community to step forward with supporting the freelancing community. The Pakistan Jawan or Pakistan Jawan Kamyab Jawan scheme that was introduced by the government was wholeheartedly promoted by the banks, and has allowed us to actually reach out to a lot of individuals who are entrepreneurs, who are looking to start afresh with new ideas in their minds. And these financing capabilities have made it possible for people to grow their businesses. Also, on the back of the payment flows that come through, like I mentioned, the Alfalah Gateway, the payment flows also make it easier for the lending by banks to those businesses. So with this, of course, we've been able to have a number of success stories. And time is too short to talk about all those success stories. But there are some videos I'm told available. But one that I would like to mention is the inspiring story of Dua Sukhera. She's a top-rated freelancer and one of the youngest entrepreneurs and a philanthropist. And she uses our solutions to receive freelance payments. She is also the founder and CEO of the Institute of Entrepreneurship, which is aiming towards the empowerment of freelancers in South Punjab, especially women, and has already trained over 10,000 students there. And this success story is particularly also relevant and close to our hearts, is because it brings out the role that women play in our economy, but also as freelancers. We all know that women in most developing economies are a key catalyst for growth. They are the engines that make the whole economy and society develop much faster. There is a strong link that has been developed between women's gendered caregiving role and also the increased involvement in the workforce. So as banks and as Bank Alfalah, we are keenly focused on ensuring that a lot of our efforts are actually targeted to ensuring that women are able to come into the workforce through whatever they are able to do from their homes. So I think I promised to be brief. So I've made the key points that I wanted to make, and in the end, would just like to again reiterate that it's really the youth of the country that makes a nation and the future of a nation. And we, as corporates, have a responsibility to ensure that the youth is supported and all the products and services are available to make sure that they do what they know that they can deliver to Pakistan. So it is up to you now, and of course with support of the entire ecosystem, to show everybody that this generation is no less than any other, and in fact is going to create a new and much brighter future for Pakistan. Thank you.